Start the YouTube up here. Let's see what Tickety Talk has for me for today.
And so you're out of jail now?
I don't know. Guess we'll find out.
I mean, I think I saw like 800 people, or at least your views went up by 800 yesterday, but I didn't see the people in the room go above 8.
Yeah. Yup. Yeah, I put that in the chat where they actually they ended up approving my appeal because they had some violation on there that I was not even doing. And so hopefully that helps, but I'm gonna get all these screens set up here. There we go. Okay. Yeah, looks like we're all good on that. All good on that. Expand this thing. Okay, guys, I think we're good. Oh man, good morning, guys. Mild disclaimer. I feel like I'm getting a little sick, so that's not a great thing. But we're gonna still navigate through. We got this. Definitely a wild day already. Let's give it a few minutes, guys. I always like to kind of wait till about 9:20, let people get in. How's everybody doing so far? How's your day, at least? Man, everybody must have went to the bathroom.
Morning, Nick.
Morning.
Day's going all right so far, but just getting fired up though.
Oh yeah.
I've not taken a trade.
Yeah, I took one small one, and then it just closed out, and I didn't take one after that because today looks a little crazy for me here. Yeah, it's a very interesting setup and structure, guys, that we got here. Let me show a few things. I think I'm good on all my recordings and such. Good morning, everybody. All right. Yeah, we should be good. Okay. So let's take a look, guys, real quick. I got Neo muted. A lot going on in here. I'm going to remove a few more of these lines here. We'll keep these there. I'm good with this one, but let's pivot it yellow. Just kind of keep us boxed in. So again, guys, just to touch on it quickly, the structure that we've been, called forever, blow off top. I'd definitely say that we got to blow off top, right? Here was our top. There's the blow off. So, there was a price target around 765, I think it was, that I had. Oh. You can't hear my mic? How's that?
No, it's we can see like the logo of Neo,
Yeah.
and but we can't hear or see you or your charts or anything.
What? How? See on Google Meet? That's how I have it set up.
Yeah, no, can't see that at all.
Wonder why. Oh, I wonder if I'm gonna stop this one, guys, and then I'm gonna restart it. I have a theory. Yeah, let me stop that one. Appreciate that, because that's stuff I would never know. So when I did my TikTok, I hope this didn't mess up something. I was testing out the whole, because you can plan on, scheduling an event. And so I was like, let me do this. And I'm wondering, because I go live through the studio. 24 hours for the start time. I don't know. Let me try to just go live again and see if it... If not, I wonder if I have to go live, like, because I use TikTok Studio from the app, right? Maybe there's another place I have to click it. I don't know. Let's see. I would not imagine. That'd be crazy. Let me know. I should be live again if you want to look at it and let me know. If not, I'm not going to worry about that for now. I'll just probably end it and then deal with it later.
It's good now.
So weird. Wow. No, I appreciate the feedback, because that's stuff that there's just no way for me to know that. Cool. Alright, thanks guys. Okay, now we're back on that, so we're all good. Alright, so anyways, we got the blow off top push here. Guys, yesterday was crazy. So there's some issues that I have, right, with kind of where we're at. So when you look at this like this, right, this is literally Monday. We've just been in an absolute directional climb even since Monday. I mean, we've had some decent pullbacks, but you can look at the structure wise, right? We broke through. We're in a deep climb. But what I was talking about in the mentor program here is we started off kind of slow, created a good oscillation. Should have came back and hit it here, didn't. Exploded. Should have hit it there, didn't. Exploded. Like, none of that is showing weakness at all, like, whatsoever, right? Now we're up in this area here where we have a tap and a tap. Now the only things that kind of stand out to me here is we have this top and that top. Pretty good separation, right? We have that top and we have that top. Now we might just not be done, right? But those tops and the separation of those tops tend to matter pretty well, right? And so when I was looking at this yesterday, it kind of even blew me away, right? Because when you're looking at it like that, coming in towards the end of the session, right about here, right? I think it was, no, not that one. Sorry, this one. Right, we look like we had this peak here. We had a pretty good top there, and then we hit that, and then we kept losing that top, right? So to me, that looks very potentially bearish. Then we had a push up, right? This was in our afternoon, creating that lower high with kind of a little rounding going on, right? And we got a break below that low. In all fairness, we never broke below these highs, which you guys know I love to watch. But then out of nowhere, we just climbed for like $300 directionally, right? The rest of the day. So we did get a pretty decent pull in Asia, right? And then right around here, as we got the pull, we did hold support on that prior high. We started channeling, which looked like it was going to break down, and then just bam, another parabolic move north, right? So we're still getting just absolutely crazy moves north on things that look like they should be breaking down, right? And so it's very tricky to see where the top is, right? Now, there's just no knowing how high this thing can go. There just isn't, right? I have this up here from just like a wild stretch measured move kind of possibility. So you can use things like fib and all that to measure this top, but I still stand, behind just using the higher highs, higher lows, prior highs, candles, candle logic, all that, right? It's a big difference. So we just want to keep watching this structure. Like, what is it doing, right? Is it formulating anything that could potentially break down, right? And so we can take something like this. You can pull it up if you're one that likes to cut through wicks. I'll probably take a safer approach. I want to watch something like that because now we have a top with another top. Granted, we swept it and then we pulled, right? So anything that stays below 765, in my opinion, is going to drop us pretty well. But anything that breaks us above that, right, through this open, is going to just keep going, right? It's likely for a big push. And so when I look at this, if we do get this push here, anything that breaks down below there, I'm good with taking shorts, because you can see each time that we've broken it and broke back below, it drops pretty well, right? So I'm going to use that kind of that 765.50 as like a guideline, and then we'll just kind of watch Neo, right, and see what he's doing with his ideas or logic as well. So one thing that is going to be also critical to me, guys, is I was looking at the hour as we kind of approach open. And if you look at this, we had, every push that we've done, we've ended up in some kind of hammers. We've got the doji, closed above it. Little bit of doji set up here, closed above it, right? You got the hammer, doji. So we know that if we get a close above there, or preferably there, right, which would be the 751, then that's going to be very bullish, right? It's not very bearish. And so if we get a close in the next 32 minutes above 751, right, it's going to be pretty bullish. Now we are looking kind of wicky. See how we have this hammer here? A lot of wicks within this price range. But then again, we kind of had that here, right? See where it was very wicky. It's a little different, I think, because we got a little more volume through it, but we just got to see where open goes, guys. But for me, anything that goes above 751 and holds, I'm probably not interested in shorting unless I see something break above it pretty heavily and then pull back below, right? That 65, because any kind of short right now is just very dangerous, right? But we're definitely, again, every time I think we're getting to a point where we're topping out, it just goes, right? Now, in all fairness, when we were talking about it yesterday in the session, right, it was, let's see, yeah, 9 a.m. I don't know if it shows it much on that 1 hour, but remember that one where we were saying, Johnny and I were talking, and I was like, if we get a pullback, we're likely to pull back, but if we stay above this, right, it's going to explode. Oh, it was right there. And so I expected this to push. I just didn't expect it to push that hard, right? But what I was aiming for is we have that top, we had the push, we started to look very toppy. When we came down, right, we bounced right on these prior highs. And then once we dojied, closed above, it was just long from there, right? And so that played out. I just, again, even though this is playing out, I'm not going to take credit for this little extension. I did not expect that. I expected this to come up, maybe tap the high, break it, and then lose it, right? Just some oscillation, but we definitely just pushed. So we got 1 minute for open, guys. So let's go in. Let's see where these candles want to lay here. I'm going to keep Neo muted in the open just so I can kind of guide you through the candles. And then once we get to like 9:45, I'll unmute him. But you guys can all watch him on your own if you want. See how we rejected almost perfect at the 65? That's going to be a big level, guys. Because for that all-time high to stick, in my opinion, that 65 should hold. And if it doesn't, we just ain't done. So here comes the pull. I will tell you guys, though, same thing I told the mentor group. If you guys are long mostly, I would prefer you to take longs after pullbacks. You shouldn't be. I wouldn't definitely wouldn't be long into open. I hope you didn't do that. But so let's watch this. Where these land matter, guys. So see how we landed right here at the bottom. Now it's pushing up. Let's see what the micro shows us. How deep we're gonna push up from that. Again, guys, prior day high is up there. We really haven't been respecting the prior day high very much because obviously we've been very, very bullish. But we're getting some deep bearish pressure here, guys. So let's see if it wants to burst through these. We have a lot of OA within here. So if we breach through here, right, it's likely going to breach through there. If it breaches through there, it's going to likely pull pretty hard. But I would be careful if we break below 705. I'd be really careful trying to capture that bottom. Anything above that, right, definitely can push more northern. So, but if we stay below 765, right, then it's going to be probably more likelihood of coming down. But so far, it's kind of an equal battle, guys. Even if we don't go directionally up or down, I would rather it just give me a range, you know. So let's watch and see what that looks like it wants to do. So as of right now, we are kind of ranging pretty well. So we have a pull into a support area and then a push. This push matters, right? Where this pushes. If we can't breach 55, right, it's going to sweep down for another low. If we breach 55, it's going to jump. But again, that anything below this 765, guys, I think has a potential of dumping pretty hard. So I would be careful longing too close to that, right? Let it pull back, catch the bounce, and then pull. Anything else could be too close.
When it comes down to ORBs, are you using a 5-minute or 15?
So the ORB is going to be always the first 15 minutes of the market open. So it doesn't matter. It's the first 15 minutes of market open. So it's going to mark that line, and then once we get to 9:45, it'll lock that line. But I use it on the 1 minute is where I put it on the from there. Just because I want to see what the candles are doing, you know, with it from within. Let's see. Volume's kind of stalling out a little bit. We see how we got this hammer here with the close above. That should cause enough to breach up here. But if we fail and we close below that hammer, right, it'll drop pretty hard. But the way this looks, these hammers, this close above, it should have enough to push it. But what I would be more interested to see is, do we have enough to push it through that 765? Because any kind of failure or close below, right, then will drop us. But we're getting a little expansion. Let's see how it treats this level here, guys. The 765 is going to be my big one I'm watching here. We did get a trap here. You see that? It's a wide trap move, but those ones are tricky to take because we're so close into that open, right? Pressure's northern for sure. Again, 765 is what I'm watching. Prior day high is this 800. That looks like it's also the 15-minute Lisma. So this will be our next level of crazy resistance if we do break that 765. Tricky area, right? Because like I said, you don't want to take longs on expansion here, because you know, at some point we're gonna tap something and it's gonna just deep reject, right? And so it's very dangerous to take it into the prior high. If you want to be long, you want to really wait till you expand past here, right? But then you're into that all-time high, so you gotta be careful, right? But the best thing to do if you're taking longs would be to let it pull back a little bit. if you're not comfortable shorting. So Neo wants a break and a hold above the 1 minute Lisma, 751. And he just put out there, which we are. But again, so his levels that he's identifying is he knows this one and he knows, I think, 1 or 2 down here, right? He's not watching that 765 like that. So just be careful, guys, because that's a level that's critical for this move. See how it's rejecting? Trying to break it, but it keeps rejecting. We haven't got the close above it yet. So nice little cluster of support here. So if we get enough rejection there, right, I want to see how hard it hits through there. The other one that's important is this 751 come 10 o'clock. So we'll want to watch that. If we're below that 751, pretty significant. If we're below 705, it's going to drop hard. Anything in here would be internal. Anything above there, right, we're going to pump like crazy. Let's see. So far that 765 is holding. Volume kind of crapped out a bit. Oh, there it goes. Little jump. Just give me a nice little oscillatory range, guy. Nice little oscillatory range.
The 1 minute, 950, 200, and Lisma are all so close together right now.
Oh, it's just insane, yeah. Well, like I said, this 765 becomes big to me because if this wants to truly be an all-time high top that we respect, we need to respect that low. Right, that caused this drop right there, which would be that 765. So if we disrespect it over and over, it's not the all-time high. We'll get another one. But famous words of trading, right? But you know, at some point, you know, we are going to need to have some kind of liquidity clear back a little. Thursdays love to do it, so I wonder if it'll be today.
Going back to yesterday, that rounded top that exploded up.
Yeah.
Remember the 519? So once it cleared that 519, it went up, and then it came back to it, and it couldn't stay below it.
Yeah.
And then once it cleared it again, that's when that huge jump happened up
yeah,
for the rest of the day.
Took off.
So today, my Asia low was yesterday's 519, like that key point for me anyway.
So far, it's tricky here, guys, because it's respecting that 65 that I had concerns about, but we're still getting a lot of DOM pressure into it, right? So let's see if it wants to get expansion here. Or if they're going to just sweep it and pull it again. See the pressure still? Which is just crazy because, like I said, you know, we want to see some kind of respect of levels up here, right? And so we've definitely cleared that. Now I want to see if we do what I was saying, right? Do we clear it? When we clear it and we lose it, does it drop hard? Because see, each time that it's lost it, you know, or, you know, once we lost through here, right, we dropped it pretty good, so. That's the most difficult thing. I don't know, you know, I've talked a lot about this with the development side and mentor program, but I don't know. I feel like identifying a bottom seems so much easier than identifying a top. I don't know. Do you guys feel that way or see that? At least for me. I mean, I can identify usually like a short-term top pretty well, but this high time frame top, man, this thing just wants to keep going. So let's see how this does. So we're approaching this. Likely wants to chase the prior day high liquidity up there. Let's see what it gets to. Anything short of that breaks down, right, would give us our deeper pull. But we kind of have a deep trend line you can take on the micro side right there. See that? To tell us when things are shifting. Still a lot of strength. We're getting some bearish pressure, but it's more pressure than DOM drops, but we're definitely getting pressure. So this is a big one, guys, remember, because 65 is where we couldn't break. So if this loses it, it usually sweeps pretty hard. So we kind of lost that. Now let's see if it gets any kind of momentum into the averages. So these prior highs now matter, the 51. We do have a doji set, right? So close below. I'm going to unmute Neo, guys, and we'll let him talk because the next update will be after the ORB, and then we'll kind of interpret what he says. Still getting some pressure. It's interesting because the buyers are not real strong, but sellers are not either. A little DOM jump north. Let's see. See if it can reclaim that 65, or does that end up our kind of rejection spot? A lot of moving averages to get through here. So we broke this. I'm going to leave in this here for now. See what we're creating here. So notice as we're pulling, right, we created an inverted hammer into a doji. So close above that will spring us, but that's our first sign that the bulls might not be very strong. Yeah, see, there you go. You see how those hammers matter in the placement, guys? Did anybody else see that before that happened? Yeah, because you can see, like I said, notice we broke down from that 65. We retested it once, dropped, retested a second time, created that hammer.
The market has experienced a sharp, aggressive reversal, breaking down through both the 1-minute Lisma at 28,756.23 and the 1-minute EMA 200 at 28,741.6, invalidating the previous bullish expansion. Sentiment: bearish pressure. Confidence: 6 out of 10. Reason: the sudden breach of key moving averages and the flip of the 1-minute Lisma to a bearish trend signal that the recent high was a liquidity sweep. and sellers have now re-established control. Concerns. Price is currently testing the 5 minutes Lisma at 28,741.69 from below. A failure to reclaim this level or the 1 minute EMA 200 will keep the short-term bias firmly to the downside. Long entry option.
Yeah, see that deep?
None. Short entry option. A short entry is valid if price maintains a breakdown and hold below the 1 minute EMA 200 at 28,741.6. Target the 5 minutes
could go
EMA
deep, guys, so be
200 at
careful.
28,693.97 with invalidation on a reclaim and hold above the 1 minute lip.
I'm going to mute him for a second, guys. So 705 is big, right? For us to get the deep pull down to there, we need to break that 705. Anything short of that, it could bounce again. So be careful chasing. But you see that breakdown kind of happen as I was thinking there. So we're getting a little push. Let's try it. Let's see how deep this push goes is going to make a big difference, guys. But see, that's that 705, and we're on a trend line, right? So you can see that's our trend line. But that's what I was saying. Like, remember when I don't know if any of y'all, anybody catch that? Just put a thumbs up if you guys want to. Good deal. Yeah, how I was reading that, I took some trades on that, but like I said, when we broke the 65, once we lost it and we retested on it twice with an inverted hammer near a support level, that's usually a pretty good sign, right, that we're going to come down. But now the market needs to determine, right, because remember, by 10 o'clock, if we close anywhere down here, it's going to dump hard. But if we close anywhere up here, it's going to pump hard, right? And so it's getting really close to that kind of time, right? To me, it looks pretty bearish, but the bulls are still kicking in. So watch, if you break that 705, guys, I will heavily caution y'all to watch your shorts, or I'm sorry, watch timing that bottom, because it could be a pretty deep pull, which is really overdue, right? We need to get down to about 650 is what I'd like. From a session time, 640 or so is Asia low, right? And so if we breach EU low at 692, then that's going down there. So let's see if this wants to double bottom or does it want to let it go. Still getting a good amount of pressure. All right, let me unmute him again. If I see something critical, I'll mute him, right? Just otherwise we'll let him talk and give his guidance. So he didn't like longs at all, which is good. Good call. All right, he wanted a short if we broke below the 1 minute 200 EMA, which we got the close there, right? So that short played out pretty well. So now we want to see, are we going to hold this as a bottom and jump? Right, so we know we broke this trend line here. We can take that one off. Let's just draw another little micro trend line just to see if anything gets respected. Looks like it's trying to break through it. So let's see. Again, that's that 705 battle, guys, that they're trying to do. So we broke back below the 5 minute Lisma, you guys see that? Usually that's going to give you your hit, pull back, breach wick, pull back, and then if it gets the close above, right, then it's going to spring. I want to see if that Lisma is going to hold though. Because if it acts as resistance, watch the DOM, right? See how the orders are reacting to it? Because if it acts as resistance, it's going to come back down.
The market is currently showing sustained bearish momentum as price holds below both the 1 minute EMA 200 at 28,740.31 and the 5 minutes Lisma at 28,740.59, confirming the rejection of the earlier highs. Sentiment, bearish pressure. Confidence, 7 out of 10. Reason, price is trading in a bearish alignment below all primary moving averages, and the 15 seconds EMA trend remains firmly bearish. indicating that sellers are maintaining control of the structural move lower. Concerns. The price is currently extended from the 1-minute Lisma, which may invite a minor snapback rally to test resistance. Avoid shorting directly into a potential liquidity recovery near the 1-minute EMA 200. Long entry option. None. Short entry option. A short entry is valid if price confirms a rejection at the 1-minute EMA 200 or the 5 minutes Lisma on a potential pullback. Target the 5 minutes EMA 200 at 28,694.34, with invalidation on a sustained replaying and hold above 28,740.59. Summary. The bearish trend is established and clear following the failure at the highs. Look to sell into resistance clusters if price attempts a corrective bounce, keeping the 5 minutes EMA 200 as the primary target for this move.
Pretty good advice, guys. See how we're getting these pushes? But there's some key areas that are starting to reject. This rejection makes a big difference, guys. If this rejects halfway in here and we get a stiff bounce, right, then it's going to go pretty well. If we lose that halfway, it's going to create that lower low and hit the EU low, which is probably more likely, but we'll see how that plays here, guys. We're getting that halfway. Watch the DOM and see how that reacts to these halfway pushes, right? Are we getting drops or pushes? Because we're in a kind of an area that we should be getting more DOM drops than pushes, right? And so if we're still consistently getting the DOM jumps, right, the order flow is coming in heavy on the buy side, right, in an area that should reject. Why do you go to sleep? Stupid Chrome.
Hello, I'm Neo. Let's capture the move.
Capture the move. For whatever reason, Chrome likes to time them out on me, so I have to reset it every now and then. Let's see, so we're still pushing. It's coming back up to test that 65 area, looks like. We're getting a pretty good bounce, right? Remember I was saying right out, anything on that 705 can definitely bounce pretty well. That's where we're getting a lot of this violence in this push here. Let's see if we get any kind of rejection off that 65, or do we just want to push through like we've done every day? Craziness, man. I just want to find a day to just give me a good solid range, man. I love my top and bottom trading, but I prefer to have some. As long as I can get any kind of decent pullbacks here and there, right? It's huge. Pretty good push again. But see how we're getting those little pulls? I feel like it's been like this last few days though, where we get the DOM drops, jump, drop, drop, jump, and then eventually the bears just go, I'm done. Let it go. Just let it go.
It's almost the same formation it made yesterday.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, we blew right through that 65 for sure. Let's see if we get any kind of rejection here. So the big thing right here, guys, we're coming into our prior highs now, right? Anything up here. So I want to see when we get up here, do we have any
The market
kind of
has
pulls?
staged a powerful, aggressive reversal, obliterating the previous bearish structure.
He said
with a breakout
obliterating.
above the 1-minute EMA 200 at 28,740.65 and the 1-minute Lisma at 28,750.84, surging into new territory. Sentiment. Bullish pressure. Confidence. 8 out of 10. Reason. Price has reclaimed all key moving averages with conviction, and the 15 seconds EMA has flipped back to bullish, indicating that the previous downside move was a deep liquidity sweep that has been fully rejected. Concerns. After such an impulsive vertical move, price is highly extended
We're in the
from its
prior day
primary
high
structural
here,
support.
guys.
Avoid chasing the high, as a mean reverting pullback to test the 1 minute Lisma is a high probability expectation before further sustainable growth. Long entry option. A long entry is valid on a confirmed pullback and bounce at the 1 minute Lisma at 28,750.84. Target the next area of liquidity above the current high at 28,786.50, with invalidation on a breakdown and hold below the 1 minute EMA 200 at 28,740.65. Short entry option. None. Summary. The bulls have completely regained control in a swift, decisive move. Patience is now the most important tool, as waiting for a logical retest of support will provide a significantly better risk to reward entry than buying into this current vertical expansion.
He ain't lying. Yeah, this pressure, guys, just is insane. So we're testing prior day high plus his 15-minute Lisma. So this is big for me because see how we're getting an inverted hammer here? Close below there should sweep us back to Lisma, which is what he was concerned about, right? And so, but if we just expand through this, guys, good Lord, it's just going to be another crazy day. Right to the moon. So let's just keep watching the DOM pressure.
And I
Yeah.
asked the loosen account,
Nice.
and I made $100 too much, so I tried to lose it, and now I'm $2,000 over.
Oh gosh. That's why I usually just like to...
Now.
Yeah, I open, close until it fees me to death. That's the way I do it, because it's too risky to... Isn't it funny when you're trying to lose money, you tend to have trouble doing it? You're like, I wish it was that easy when I'm trying to make money.
Tell me about it. I left out a $2,000 run at $2-3 grand.
That's funny.
But, yeah. It's a good problem to have.
Oh, yeah. See, a close below here, guys, is going to sweep it. And that's what his concern is that we're going to reject off the prior day high and go back down to Lisma, which is high probability, as he said. Now, this is big for me, guys, because we got our close below. That should sweep, right? If this don't sweep and we just get another jump, it's going to be definitely another crazy day. I want to see if the candles are doing what they should do, right, when we create those certain formations. Now, we do want to look left, so we do have highs there. So that's why we're struggling a little bit. I would say this would be the next one, which is where that wick hit. Yeah, so if we close below that, right, then the next levels are there. The DOM's suggesting it should, but then we're still getting every now and then a little jump, but definitely a battle. The thing about Thursdays, guys, is it's weird because of the craziness we've had north, but normally on Thursdays they like to push one way in kind of like a fake out, and then they'll push the other way really hard, right? And so the fact that we pre-market push, kill zone pushed, and we're market opening push, right, we had a little pullback, tells me I wonder if they're setting up some kind of trap here, which we won't know until we see how this candle progression plays. Because this right here, the way this structure is, it should have enough to breach into here. It just should. And so anything short of that. But we also have that 65. Remember how we broke it? If we lose that 65, it's going to come down pretty hard with it too. So let's just watch. Now again, you know, these highs right here around 774 or so are critical, right? If we see how we bounce off here, the hammer, if we get a close above it, it's going to push.
The market is cooling off after a sharp expansion to the upside, currently consolidating above the 1 minute Lisma at 28,759.61 and the 1 minute anchored VWAP at 28,744.19. Sentiment. Bullish pressure. Confidence. 6 out of 10. Reason. Price is holding well above key support levels, including the 1-minute Lisma and the 5 minutes Lisma at 28,742.84, confirming that the structural trend remains firmly bullish despite the red high Kinashi candle concerns. The red candle and recent price oscillation indicate that the momentum is pausing at these higher levels, and chasing the price now would mean entering during a potential consolidation phase before the next potential move higher. Long entry option. A long entry is valid on a confirmed pullback and bounce at the 1-minute Lisma at 28,759.61. Target the recent high near 28802.0, with invalidation on a breakdown and hold below the 1-minute anchored VWAP at 28,744.19. Short entry option. None. Summary. The bullish trend is intact, but the market is entering a necessary consolidation period. Focus on buying the dip at established support levels to maintain a favorable risk-to-reward ratio while avoiding the urge to chase the recent high.
Yeah, and again, this is the prior day high as well, guys. My only concern as of now, it's still early, right, is that we're finding support pretty early into a prior day high. Right. And so unless we can create a double top of sort on the 1 minute here and we get a deep pull into that neckline, could be, right, then it'd be a bearish pattern off of a prior day high, right, which would drop it pretty good. But the pressure is just so oddly strong up here. Unless they're going to sweep it quickly, but let's see. Watch this DOM a little more. A little bit of a battle going on. Oh, you know what? Let's see. Yeah, we got to close here, guys, which is above our doji. Remember we were talking about on the 1 hour? So for us to come retest this would make sense, but if we retest anywhere in here, 65 and 51, and it bounces again, and longer macro term wise, guys, that's very bullish. So we just need to see how this handles this right here. Yeah, it's struggling at this high. I didn't draw it out, but you guys can see the trend line here that I'll be watching. So any kind of push into there with a break is going to drop it pretty hard. I would just, like I said, give me an oscillatory day. That's all I want. Give me an oscillatory day. We'll be all right. These forever climbs into... In the way that I trade, right, being very analytical with it, I prefer it to get into ranges that I can utilize lines and prior data, right, to make it make sense. So we're still pressuring it up. So unless the bears come in quick here soon, it is quite the battle, guys. Let's see. From a 1 hour perspective, it's definitely more bullish than bearish, though. So now that we've gained that, let's see if we lose. Let's see how it reacts when it gets up to this actual high, guys. Do we want to blow past it? Or is it going to reject right off it?
The market has initiated a strong breakout to new highs, effectively clearing the previous resistance at 28,802.0 and signaling a continuation of the bullish trend with healthy expansion. Sentiment. Bullish pressure. Confidence. 8 out of 10. Reason. Price has achieved a confirmed breakout above local resistance, supported by bullish alignment across the 15 seconds and 1 minute timeframes, and is trading well above the 1 minute Lisma at 28,766.17 and the 1 minute anchored VWAP at 28,746.27. Concerns. The current price of 28,807.75 is extended from the 1 minute Lisma. While momentum is strong, an immediate entry carries risk due to the potential for a snapback to test the breakout level of 28,802.0. Long entry option. A long entry is valid on a confirmed breakout retest of 28,802.0, provided price holds this level as support.
There goes the
Target the
all-time
next
high.
psychological liquidity level, with invalidation on a breakdown, and hold below the 1 minute Lisma at 28,766.17. Short entry option. None. Summary. The bulls are showing clear intent to push higher following the successful breakout. Wait for a logical retest of the breakout zone at 28,802.0 to confirm support before participating in further upside, as this provides a significantly safer risk to reward entry.
Yeah, that we're feeling the effects of that 1 hour candle. But that's another all-time high push, guys. Crazy. The strength the market just keeps showing is just so nutty. So now we can use that 814 as a big guide, right? Plus the prior day high here, right? And so if we end up getting a push and we lose this high coming back down, it's going to be pretty violent, right? Because then that would be our stop hunt. Anything short of that, guys, we're up in no man's land again. Again, like I recommended for all of you, I would, just like Neo said, be careful chasing these breakouts up, because at any point this thing could just sweep, right? If you want to take your longs, that's fine, you know, like wait for the pullbacks, take the play, wait for the pullback, take the play, you know, do it like that. But yeah, that 1 hour closing bullish definitely pushed us up there. And you can see, like I was saying, this right here should have pulled to there. So the fact it didn't, and it's holding so much pressure up there, tells you there's a lot of strength into that area. So the fact that it just pushed doesn't surprise me whatsoever. So, but I'm going to keep that 814 there because I want to see, do we get a breakdown back below it, right? Or are we just going to, are we going to 29 today? That's really the only question of the day right now. Crazy strength. Just watch the DOM, look for any drops. Do we have any kind of signs of weakness whatsoever? Little pull. If you notice, the expansion of this one went up pretty deep, right? So we got some room to come back to retest those highs. That's going to be big. A pullback here, right, to retest that high with a doji close above, if it pushes, that's going to be a violent push. But if we come down here, guys, and we lose this, you know, create some kind of head and shoulders of sort, right, then that's going to be a deep pull. But another all-time high in the books, man. Every single day. It's crazy. So let's watch the DOM, see how it reacts up here. Are we getting still pressure north, or are we getting any kind of DOM drops? So I'm still
So
seeing.
much for selling may go away.
Oh yeah, I know. No, it's
It's not making sense at all.
Oh yeah, again, guys, I got nothing for you as far as how high we can go. You know, I called the blow off top, and I knew we would go way up here, but and I called 28. I knew we'd get to 28, or had a good suspicion, but I could take no credit for any calls up here because everything up here is just bananas. So we're getting a little DOM drops. You see that? So a close below there, 26 will validate our pull to there. That's gonna this thing's gonna be huge for me, guys, because I'm gonna tell you right now, if this thing just goes straight north, I am staying out of this mess. Because there's just no way to know, right, where that pull is gonna come, or these jumps, right? And when you're up in this like stratosphere area.
The market is currently in a state of strong, impulsive bullish expansion, reaching new highs as it sustains momentum well above the 1 minute Lisma at 28,778.73 and the 1 minute anchored VWAP at 28,749.58. Sentiment.
And some DOM
bullish
drops
pressure.
a little bit.
Confidence, 8 out of 10. Reason, price has successfully extended beyond the prior breakout level of 28,802.0, confirming a robust uptrend with bullish alignment across the 15 seconds and 1 minute time frames. Concerns, price is currently significantly
Man,
extended
look at
from the
that
1 minute Lisma, and the high volatility expansion leaves the market prone to a sharp, corrective pullback. Attempting to buy at the absolute peak is high risk. Long entry option. A long entry is valid on a confirmed pullback and bounce at the 1 minute Lisma at 28,778.73. Target the next area of liquidity, with invalidation on a breakdown and hold below the 1 minute anchored VWAP at 28,749.58. Short entry option. None. Summary. The bulls remain firmly in control, driving a strong and sustained expansion. Avoid chasing the current high and wait for a methodical pullback to the 1 minute Lisma to establish a high probability long position.
Okay, so that looked very sweep-like, guys. You see that? See how we established somewhat of a high, swept it, and pulled. This candle right here is huge. If it sweeps enough to create that low, right? See how we still have a hammer? If we get a close below that, it's going to be coming down, right? Which, again, I want it to come down to this prior high at least. I would love for this to be a Thursday fake out, right? Give me the close below it, and then just give me a decent sweep or pull with it. But the strength is still pushing, so. But see how we're starting to get those little drops? You guys see that? So the sellers are trying to come in. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. 1 minute's got a kind of a little inverted hammer look, right? So close below 830, right, would validate our pullback to the ORB. Anything short of that, who knows? Look at this strength. So crazy. There's just no way to know where this is going to go, guys.
Don't these usually end with like a big blow off wick and then like I've never seen it get close like this where there's a little resistance and then it turns around. Usually there's a big blow off and then it turns around like for good. I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough because sometimes what you'll see is the bot algos will creep it sometimes. They only blow off the top if they have to smack some stops, right? Or wipe some accounts, but otherwise they just kind of inch it to see where the sellers are gonna come in hot, right? And then that's when they'll flip it. I just don't trust Thursdays, guys, because Thursdays have been known, not lately with this forever climb, right? But they're typically known to do these like fake pushes and then just absolute crazy reversals, right? But the way the market's been going lately, who knows? Starting to look a little toppy, but I want to see the order flow come in as well. See how it's starting to do this. Getting a little pressure. See, we got the doji there. See these hammers? This is what I'm looking at. So close below there would pull it back to Lisma, right? Which is what you would think we would need to do to give a little bit more strength, right? To go, deeper north, but it just keeps kind of grabbing some dome pushes here and there. I'd like to see some kind of pull, even if we get a push, right? We can create some kind of trend, some higher lows, whatever. But this is our prior high, guys. Like, I guess if we go to the one here, right, from, that would be our 14. I'm going to put that line back. Just for your visual there. So that's going to be a critical line, guys. If we break back below that one, it's going to drop pretty hard. Or at least to Lisma. Anything short of that, guys, who knows? To the moon. There's nothing.
The market is currently consolidating at elevated levels following a strong impulsive push, with price action showing indecision via a doji and a red high Kinashi candle, signaling a potential pause in the immediate bullish momentum, sentiment, bullish pressure. Confidence. 6 out of 10. Reason. Despite the short-term pause, the broader structure remains deeply bullish, with price holding well above the 1-minute Lisma at 28,792.11 and the 1-minute EMA 200 at 28,753.80. Concerns. The doji formation suggests a temporary exhaustion of buyers, increasing the likelihood of a mean reverting pullback toward the 1-minute Lisma. Avoid entering long positions until price stabilizes or proves it can hold above the recent consolidation zone. Long entry option. A long entry is valid on a confirmed bounce from the 1-minute Lisma at 28,792.11. Target the recent high of 28,847.50 with invalidation on a breakdown and hold below the 1-minute EM
Look at that.
200 at
There's your sweep.
28,753.80. Short entry option. None. Summary. The market is taking a breather after its rapid ascent. Prioritize patience and wait for a clear
God, look at
bounce
this
from
battle,
established
though.
support of the 1-minute Lisma to confirm that the trend remains in an accumulation phase before looking for further upside.
What a liquidity little sweep there. Up, down, bam.
There's that big wick now.
Yeah, but usually that's followed
Doesn't
by a
pass
big.
that wick. Let's see.
That's followed by a
Passes that one.
big dump, not a dump push.
Yeah.
So that's they're trying to sweep longs and shorts right there.
Hit it right on that previous high and then up again.
My
Yeah.
losing account's up to 4,500. I can't lose the money.
Just take shorts, man. Come on.
I'm
Shit.
trying.
That's all you had to do is go short today. Yeah, this is nutty, y'all, because, you know, to your point, right? We had a deep sweep up, down. The down hit perfectly on the prior high. That's, again, not very bearish, right? But, you know, when we start to get these kind of battles, they're stop hunting like crazy. So let's see if that wants to be a deep pull. Anything that pulls, now us bouncing at 814 doesn't surprise me. That's expected, right? So, but I want to see, for us to get a deep pull, we got to get below that 814. Anything short of that, right? It's just going to keep jumping. To the moon.
Well, it worked for me. I'm done. Did shorting bunch of longs, so 549.
Yeah, it's a good time to
Yeah.
stop. I would definitely
Yeah.
stop because it's Thursday's
Oh yeah, I'm
gonna.
going to stop. I'm not going to continue. I'm done.
Yeah, it's gonna get crazy here in a second. I think the way this orders flow, we're either
I'm
gonna.
loading it, yeah, and
It looks to me like it's setting up for a really big move, which it usually does, right, when this happens. So what we don't know is the big move going to be a decent explosion, or is it going to do the Thursday push and then dump and wreck everybody?
It looks like it's building a diamond.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You just gotta have some big brass ones to be buying up here, though, right? Like I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
oh, me? No. Every time it goes backwards, so you just go up like perhaps 4 or 5 ticks, and then you close it out. So you're scalping longs.
Yeah.
And if it's like $20 green, you just add another MQ, and then just close it out, in and out all the time.
Yeah, just short scalp. Micro scalping.
Yeah.
It's a better way to do it right now in this crazy market because you really don't know
but
how it's
in
going to
Asia
go.
last night, it did not work. So this
Yeah.
morning,
All right, Melania, you're up. You're teaching.
No, I want to get all those payouts like you. I got 0 payouts this year. You should teach us. Help us get to the payout.
Cody's going to teach
Yeah, with
the
Nick.
emotional stability course. That's what Cody's teaching, right?
Oh yeah, can you do that, Nick? Any one of those?
Yeah, Cody has it.
Yeah, because I tell to myself every day, kill the emotions, kill the emotions. I say that like 100 times per day.
Yeah. I just want to
teach you
get.
to lose enough to your gnome.
I want to get to where we get into areas that are previous areas, you know, so we can get some
The
actual
market
data.
is maintaining a strong bullish trajectory, successfully absorbing recent selling pressure to continue pushing toward new local highs while holding above the 1-minute Lisma at 28,807.78. Sentiment. Bullish pressure. Confidence. 7 out of 10. Reason. Price is exhibiting consistent strength, with the 15 seconds and 1 minute Lisma trending firmly upward, indicating that buyers are active and defending the recent consolidation zone. Concerns. The current price is hovering above the 1 minute Lisma, and while momentum is positive, the market remains susceptible to rapid pullbacks typical of high volatility expansion. Jumping in at current levels without a clear retest increases exposure to whipsaw risk. Long entry option. A long entry is valid on a confirmed pullback and bounce at the 1 minute Lisma at 28,807.78. Target the recent high near 28,856.75, with invalidation on a breakdown and hold below the 1 minute EMA 200 at 28,758.72. Short entry option. None. Summary. The bulls
Golly,
remain in
guys,
total
look
control
at
of the
this.
trend. Focus on catching the next logical retest of support rather than chasing the current price, as the higher levels offer an increasingly unfavorable risk to reward ratio for new long entries.
Dio's getting better, dude.
It's crazy, huh?
Yeah, like even the way he's talking is improving. That's crazy.
Except we ain't coming back to test Lisma. We're just going.
Yeah, you know what? I think we're going to be at about 419,000 probably before the end of the month.
Yeah, it's crazy, guys. It is crazy.
I mean, at least yesterday we could say, well, the earnings and all this stuff like that was good stuff, right? But
Well, Trump came out this morning and he's saying that Iran's agreed not to pursue nuclear stuff. So I don't know, dude. It's in wartime. It's crazy.
sure, he just says something different every day, so I don't believe nothing. But
Yeah, that's right. Their pockets are getting fatter too, buddy.
yeah,
All of them are.
I'm sure they put another 400 million on oil shorts as well, but right before he said that.
Yeah, probably. And then they're going to come out and say that a tanker got bombed or something. And it's going to sink back down to 27.
Yup. Look at this
Holy
absolute
moly, this is
push.
going
That was
good.
nice.
Crazy.
I caught it off that little green hammer.
Do you guys
impulse.
take a sacrificial and get into a long so you guys can all go short?
Yeah, this is nutty, guys. Very nutty.
What's that old saying? Nuttier than a rat in a tin shit house?
Mm-hmm.
Diamond played out pretty nice.
Yeah. I'm just got concerns because, like I said, I know how Thursdays tend to work, guys, and they're going to bait the shit out of everybody, and then they're going to dump this thing. But could be wrong, but look at, we just rejected right off the 900 almost perfectly. Just looking at the crazy stuff here, guys. I just, like I said, I would love for us just to get back into some normalcy of range that we can do some good deep TA. So these forever pushes, man, are just so wild.
Yeah, I've got 5 evals I have to pass by the end of Friday, and I'm like $1,500 away, and I'm just trying to catch the right move so I can get these over with.
Yeah. What I would do, just similar to what we've done before, right? Start looking for some weakness here, because again, once we start breaking down through certain levels, I have a feeling it's gonna pull pretty hard. So I'm kind of watching this this DOM here.
The market is currently in a state of aggressive vertical expansion, consistently forging new highs while maintaining a strong bullish
look at
alignment
this
across
push
all
again.
primary timeframes and indicators. Sentiment. Bullish pressure. Confidence. 8 out of 10. Reason. Price has successfully broken out to new highs with significant momentum, supported by a steep and rising 1-minute Lisma at 28,826.6 and the 1-minute anchored VWAP at 28,761.14, confirming that the trend is heavily favor of the buyers. Concerns. The price action is currently highly overextended from the 1-minute Lisma, and the rapid, volatile spikes to 28,897.0 followed by quick retracements suggest that the market is entering a phase of extreme exhaustion. Entering long here carries a high risk of being caught in a sharp, corrective mean reversion, long entry option. A long entry is valid only on a confirmed, orderly pullback and bounce at the 1-minute Lisma at 28,826.6. Target the next area of liquidity beyond the recent high, with invalidation on a breakdown and hold below the 1-minute EMA 200 at 28764.5. Short entry option, none. Summary. The bullish trend remains dominant.
We do have a gap fill down below, guys. See that?
That necessitates extreme caution. Stay patient for a disciplined retest of support levels to maintain a high probability trade, as buying at current levels is highly speculative and prone to rapid volatility.
Yeah, see, we got we just rejected right below the 900, right? 28.9. But what I want to see now is I want to see these highs. See how we came down here and we hit this high and then jumped again? We need those highs to get invalidated, right? But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, guys, these are areas where I agree, man. You got some big bulls taking longs.
There's no way we're making another high. I can't say. This is where I'd be stuttering, like, no way.
Doubt me
yeah.
now.
No
Doubt me
way
now.
we're doing
Famous
this.
last words.
Right?
I mean, I put some money on it.
Well, we were in consolidation for a while. I'm hoping this is the manipulation we can get a short to
Yeah.
distribute.
Y'all don't see price reaching up to 30,000?
Yeah, you're kind of, you had the diamond play out well. You got that, like you said, you know, accumulation into momentum distribution, right? So let's see if we can get the break back down from it. The thing I'm looking at too is the fact that we rejected just below the 900. Remember, each time it does those kind of round numbers, it likes to tend to pull back pretty decent. But man, it's just so much strength. I mean, we're starting to get some drops, but the strength that this market is exerting is just insane.
Yeah, I mean, oil's down 5%, so it's putting a lot of winds in the sails here.
Yeah.
$90, it's almost below $90 a barrel.
What's the symbol for oil?
CL1.
Thank you.
That's the futures symbol. Anyway.
Yeah, this is definitely crazy, y'all. This thing almost wants to go to 29.
30K today.
Here comes the double top.
Oh man.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
I
just
was looking at my Take Profit Trader account and I noticed that I had a bunch of rewards points. So I got a free account and I'm messing with it today and boy, it's not going well.
Man, it's yeah, this again, guys, this is the one I was telling the guys in the mentor group that if you got to nurture accounts, man, this week is not the week to do it because there's no telling how high this thing wants to go. There's just no telling. There's no way.
When was the last time you could say this is the week to nurture accounts?
Lately, yeah. Lately.
It's been since the beginning of April.
Yeah, but this is even worse, I feel like, because it's like we get the breakout and we're just non-stop push, right? And I know that it's easy for people to be like, we're bullish, oh, stay long, but you just have no technicals. You have no way to know where this thing's going to go, right? Where it's going to stop.
Double top. Here we go.
Yeah. I caught a little on that. Yeah, I took a little on that rejection, but
The market remains in a powerful, sustained bullish uptrend, characterized by consistent higher highs and a rapidly rising 1-minute Lisma at 28,845.46. Sentiment, bullish pressure. Confidence, 8 out of 10. Reason. Price is successfully holding well above the 1-minute Lisma and the 1-minute anchored VWAP at 28,765.28, with the 15 seconds and 1-minute timeframes maintaining a strong, coordinated bullish alignment. Concerns. The current price is exhibiting high momentum expansion, which can lead to rapid, sharp corrections if buyers exhaust themselves at these psychological levels. Avoid entering near the extreme local highs. Long entry option. A long entry is valid on a confirmed pullback and bounce at the 1-minute Lisma at 28,845.46.
What's it here?
Target the next area of liquidity above the recent high of 28,897.0. With invalidation on a breakdown and hold below the 1-minute EMA 200 at 28,769.85. Short entry option. None. Summary. The bullish momentum is very strong and continues to drive the market into uncharted territory. Focus on waiting for a technical retest of the 1-minute Lisma to provide a logical, high probability entry point rather than participating in the current overextended price action.
Yeah, sellers are definitely starting to come in, guys. You can see the Dom playing with it. This is going to be a big one, right? So we have a gap fill here, right at the prior highs. If we tap this and jump, it's going. But if we tap this and break, guys, it's going to be a pretty harsh fall. See how we're bouncing on this low here? This gap fill will get filled though.
We got some structure building if it don't make a new high.
Yeah.
I mean, only 1 minute anyway.
Yeah. See, we have the doji close below as well. That usually is south. So watch your longs, guys, if you've been scalping longs. Insane day though. Whew. Oh, it's already 10:30, guys, too. Interesting. Look at this pressure still. Crazy. Maybe we'll get kind of, yeah, a little structure. I feel like that's what this market needs, man, is the moment we get some kind of double top, head and shoulders, some kind of deep structure on like a high time frame, right? 15 minutes, 1 hour maybe, that actually validates, right? Then that will be our deep descent. Anything else short of that, man, everybody's just to the moon. Look at something here. See if we get this bear structure to play out. This gap fill is usually pretty accurate, so.
The market is in a period of high volatility consolidation following a recent push toward new highs, with price currently testing the 1-minute Lisma at 28,858.66. Sentiment, bullish pressure. Confidence, 6 out of 10. Reason. Despite the recent pullback from the 28,897.0 high, the structure remains bullish as price holds well above the 1-minute EMA 200 at 28,774.5 and the 1-minute anchored VWAP at 28,220.39. Concerns. The rapid slope of the 1-minute Lisma indicates high velocity movement, which often precedes sharp reversals or deeper corrective phases. Until price establishes a clear floor, there is significant risk of further downside volatility. Long entry option. A long entry is valid if price achieves a confirmed bounce and sustained hold at the 1-minute Lisma at 28,858.66. Target the recent high of 28,897.0. With invalidation on a breakdown and hold below the 1-minute EMA 200 at 28774.5. Short entry option. None. Summary. The trend remains fundamentally bullish, but the market is showing signs of meaningful friction. Prioritize waiting for a clean retest of support before considering a long, and avoid the temptation to buy into a falling price during this volatile consolidation phase.
Yeah, so we're kind of in that shoulder. See how we got this sweep absorption, guys? If that absorption can get the close below there, it's gonna dump pretty hard, because that'll be our first bearish structure to play out, right? But anything short of that, we close above there, to the moon. It's just wild to me that hitting a target so close, like 28.9, right, and not having a deep pull back into here to test is insane. Insane. Guys, we're almost at 10:40. Any questions? I know it's you probably got a lot of questions because it's a wild day.
I got a question for Chuck. How do you send that many likes, bro? Like, he sent you like 15,000 likes.
Yeah, he's a finger tapper.
Holy moly!
We'll talk about that when we're not on. Finger tapper. His finger hurts. Yeah, and I was watching the thing. It still looks like it's suppressing me a bit, even with my appeal. That's fine. I'm not gonna stress about it anymore. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. But yeah, so I'm gonna